Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title of the video, I got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. So today's video is about cameras, different kinds of cameras, and I guess first off we'll start with this one, this Agfa AGFA, I guess that's how you say that right, Ansco box camera. So we have, so this was an old camera. It took 120 black and white film, and actually here's a shutter right here. I don't know if you can see this thing. Let's see. Right there. I don't know if you can see that shutter move. That's how you get the picture taken. This old camera here is basically manual. There's no electronic components at all to it. But you load the film like this. Let me open the back door here. I gotta pull this knob out right here. This knob. Pull this out. Pull this whole, I guess, center housing out. I don't know what you'd call it, but now you're left with this little, I guess the insides of it. So you would load the film by, let's see, it took 120 film. So you stick the roll of 120 film right here. It's black and white film. Stick it right here. Pull out the, I guess, like the very end of it, or the beginning of it, that it have any kind of like, I guess, like parts. The beginning, I don't know what you call it. It's a part that's like, it doesn't have the picture, like paper on it. I don't know what you call it. Pull it out, stretch it around, and place it inside. Sorry, it's kind of squeaky. Sorry about that. This little slot right there, and so you'd basically have this film wrapped around the whole front of this, and then you would stick it back in the housing here. Oh, by the way, there's on the side of this, it says I forgot to mention this. It says a bunch of numbers here. I guess it's like the patent numbers 1564821, and then down below that it says Canada, May 22nd, 1923, July 1st, 1924, and then others pending. So that's something I couldn't hardly figure out, narrow down exactly when this camera was made. I found, of course, those dates, 1923 and all that, which would make it over 100, would make it, yeah, over 100 years old as of me filming this. But I saw some other things that said maybe a little later, like in the early 30s. I'm not 100% sure on that, so if anybody knows down below, please let me know. But so now I got this whole thing closed back up, and you take the film and you would twist this little knob right here to where it'd be, I guess, like advance to the next. I don't know what you call these things. They're not like Polaroids, but like blank spot in the film. I don't know all the terms to camera equipment right now, or camera stuff right now. But this little red window thing, which you can't really it's a little hard to see, but that would tell you how far to advance the film after you took a picture. And as you can see on the side here, you got, of course, a shutter button and some little controls for the I don't know what diaphragm, diaphragm, whatever, and time. I don't know how you use that. I don't actually have film for this right now, so I'm sort of having just to kind of guess what a lot of these are. But another thing you can see, these windows up top, this one here, and this one here. Now, they're kind of dusty, but that was kind of like the view. So if you pointed at something, you look through the top, and you'd see like what you were filming out, or like what you were taking a picture of out there. And so I don't know how well you can see through that. It's kind of dusty, but a little hard to see because it's kind of dusty and all that, but you look through there. Oh, and then there's a little advertisement inside for the type of film to use. It says use B2 AGFA plenochrome. I may have butchered that, sorry. But that's about it. I think also you can get one that has a handle. I gotta put a handle up here. I actually have, my next camera will have a handle up on top, kind of like the same thing. But yeah, these are the box cameras from really early personal cameras. So next we have another box camera. Here's a little bit of a comparison as to how they look. They're about the same size. And same width. Just this has a little more, I guess silver color, and I don't know. I guess it looks a little newer, at least in my opinion, it does, and it really is. It's This is the Ansco Sure Shot, and this little circular text says Binghamton, New York, made in the USA. I think actually for Ansco, the company. That's a photo company. Like they started in New York somewhere, Binghamton, I guess. And this type of camera here was another box camera, like I said. It was made from the mid-30s to like the early 40s, maybe. I couldn't exactly figure out an actual date. These two cameras, I'm not 100% sure on when they came out. I'm just kind of basing this off of different things I read online and all that. So, like I said, if anybody finds anything online, let me know and comment down below. But this camera also has a shutter button right here. It's all mechanical, nothing electronic. You push the button here and take a picture. And once again, this camera also has the same kind of windows, one on top, one on the bottom. This is actually kind of a little more clear. I don't know how. Yeah, there we go. You can sort of see, like, yeah, my hand right there, a little clearer, a little more clear, whatever the word is for it. But let me open this up here. It kind of gets it loads the same way. Actually, there's a little instruction. That's how I figured this out. Actually, how to load these things, both of these up, was by this instruction that they have printed here. I don't know how well you can read that, but basically, I'll walk you through it. Same idea. You just pull this little knob out here on the side, like that. And you pull the center housing out, and now you have something very similar to the other one. Actually, it's pretty much exact. And you would, once again, take the film, stick the 120 black and white film. I guess they made color later on. I don't know if they did or not. Stick the roller right here and pull out the beginning. Pull the beginning all the way around, and stick it into the slot at the bottom of this little tube, I guess, or not tube, but reel. There we go, reel. And so you once again have film, and also there's like these little rollers up here that helps the film kind of advance, so it's not just dragging on the corner. But so stick this back in. There we go, and close the lid, and now I can advance the film. Once again, I don't have any 120 film, so I can't really like show you this as a very good demonstration. I'm just kind of having to sort of describe it. There is a handle up here on top, though, a handle. Although I guess maybe because it's older, because this is nearing 100 years old. I mean, it's probably about 80 something years old, 70 something years old now, and it's still in really good shape as far as I can tell. The shutter still works. One difference though is that this over here has some other like labels, time and diaphragm and shutter. This one just has the one button for shutter, but that's that. Okay, now next we have, this is not a box camera anymore, we're actually into video cameras now. The other ones just took still shots. This one is a where's the thing at? Revere Eye-Matic Spool 8, and the model is CA7. And so this is made in the late 50s. I think I found a date online for 1959. This one came out. So this actually made videos. Oh, and this little thing came with it. There's a zoom lens here, and this actually does have film in it. I just haven't used it because I don't really like know where to develop this at, because this is pretty old. But I'll open this up here. There we go. Looks kind of like a, reel-to-reel recorder or whatever. And so there's the film right there. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm trying not to have so much light hitting this because I'm not really sure like how much of this is exposed. I know half of it, like the beginning of the reel is okay to have light hit it, but I don't know about the interior. Like, I don't know how, whatever. But and a cool thing is that this is kind of like a clock key wound camera. Let me try to wind this up here. There we go. So let me close this a second so it doesn't fall out, and lock that down. There's a little clock key thing right here. I guess it's a clock key. I wind whatever, and you wind this up. I think I've already wound it a little bit, and you push this button. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, can you hear that? Yeah, I have a microphone over here, right there. But so what's happening is that would actually be feeding the film through. That's pretty cool, actually, seeing that spin. It's actually surprisingly it still works. I'm surprised that that mechanism still works. Made in the USA, Revere Camera Company, Chicago. But yep, that is that. And let's see, I can take this reel out of here right quick. That's just guidelines and everything like that. Like I say, I don't think I really hurt anything by getting the beginning of this exposed to light, but I still want to be careful, so I just keep it closed up in here. We have some other adjustments. Well, there's the button to hit the record or whatever. And this kind of thing for footage, I'm not exactly sure what that dial does, but it does something. That's the most lazy answer I've ever had. It does something, but I'm not exactly sure what. I think you can twist it, but I'm not really sure. And then there's a place for a tripod if you had one. I still got the price. I got this at a thing in Micanopy for the Fall Fest. I got this thing for a tripod, and there's a strap here too. This thing's heavy though, boy. It weighs probably about. I mean, it weighs way more than like some of the newer things like this. That's for later on, by the way. This weighs pretty heavy though. So that's that, and then we have this film cartridge right here. This is Kodachrome 2 color movie film, daylight type. And so it comes in this nice little tin here. It says Kodak, nice little metal tin. By the way, there's some instructions on this back here, right there. For some reason, my camera doesn't want to focus on that for some reason. I don't know why. But it says, you know, daylight type film. Used for bright or hazy sun between f11 and f16. People who do photography. I don't know what that means, but maybe you guys know. Then you have cloudy, bright, open shade. So I guess it's more like for outdoors. This little tin here is actually nothing in it. Well, actually there is something right here, but that's not really anything. Film has... Wait, replace this bed after film has been exposed. Well, there's no film on this thing, so I don't know what that's there for. But it's probably actually the film that's in here right now. Probably the same kind of film. But that's a nice little thing that this came with. Let me close this back up. And there we go. This is actually, oh, but I forgot to mention this. This is double 8 spools. I guess double 8mm spools, I guess. Double 8 spools. Which means that whenever the film went through the first time, it only would expose half of the film, expose half of it. So you got the other side, flip it over, and you can film again to have 16mm of film. So that would be like a lot of extra footage you can get. But I'm not sure how they develop this stuff now. I think I saw somebody can still develop. I think I saw you can still develop this stuff somehow. I'm just not sure how or where to send it to. But all right. Next. Let's see, what is next? I guess, okay. This one here, this is actually probably one of the coolest cameras. I like all of these, I do, but this is probably one of the coolest cameras, and I'll show you why. So it actually comes in a case. It says Canon, that's it. And so you open this up here, and push the case, nothing else inside the case. This is actually pretty cool. It's well, it's like one of the first handheld, like, handles, I guess like a gun almost, Nerf gun or something like that. This is a Canon Zoom 250 Super 8 camera, and this came out in 1969. That's whenever the camera came out, and because Super 8 film came out in 1965. Super 8 cameras did, so this came out a little bit later in '69. And so let me open the bottom up here. I don't have film for this either, but you put the film in here. I don't know how well you can see inside of there. Let me get my flashlight right here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So you stick the cartridge in there, and you would close the door. Whoops. Close the door. There we go. And you could look through it. Actually, you can look through this camera. It's a little hard to do it, but I wonder if I can get the camera to see through it. There we go. There we kind of see through it. But it's actually one of the coolest cameras, like, to look through, at least in my opinion, to hold. I don't know why, I just like looking through this. But the zoom actually does work. The zoom does. I can look through it and I can zoom up on things. Of course, I'm not really filming anything. But that's cool. Of course, you pull the trigger down to record whatever you want to record. There's an on and off switch. And over here is a focus-matic. So you push the button and there's a little BB in there that you can roll back and forth to different, I guess, focus points. And there's how many minutes or how much film you have left. Right now there's 0 is marked because there's no film in here. But that's pretty cool. This came out in '69. I have my notes over to the right here. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, that's about it there. Like I said, I guess you still get this developed too if you had film. I like to get film to just have it in my collection. Let me put this back in its case. That's reversed. Let me put it back in its case. There we go. I'll close it up better later on. What's next? I guess this camera's next. Now this camera here is actually starting to look is pretty much like how a modern or one of the newer cameras look today. I mean it's digital and all, well for the most part. I guess I'm sort of getting ahead of myself here. This is a Nikon N60 camera, and it came out in 1998. It was a pretty nice camera for the time. I mean, it's still pretty much like, I think you can look through it. Let's see. I guess got all the glare of everything else, a little hard to see. Oh, cause this cat's on, no wonder. Okay, there we go. Now you can see through it. That's pretty cool there. I think I can zoom up a little bit. You can see. There we go. A little hard to do that through a camera. But this zoom lens still works. Everything has came out, like I said, 98, and it took 35mm film. So if I pop the back open here, there we go, you put the film in there. This is actually probably one of the few cameras that I can probably still get 35mm film and take pictures with and all that, and then get developed pretty fast. So I needed to get some film and play around with it before it gets too late. But, oh, and there's also a, right here is a flash for a camera, the flash. And I can take this lens off of here. Let's see, I take this off of here. There we go. I took the whole lens off. Now I just got what's left of the rest of the camera, which I don't think you can, yeah, you can't really see anything at all through this. But let me put this back on. Sometimes it's kind of tricky for some reason, at least for this camera it is. But it may just be me though, so let me, I'll leave it off right now. So, this thing also took 2 batteries. The batteries go right here. It's camera batteries, not like AA or AAA. It's a certain type of battery. It's it says it in there. It says CR123A/DL123A, whatever that would be. Place for a tripod. Different kinds of settings and on and off switch right over here.
Right.
Let me see if I get this back on now. There we go. Got it. Wasn't that hard. I got it. Put this cap back on. And that's that one. Also, I hope I'm not going through these too fast. I probably will eventually do a video just spotlighting like a singular camera. I'm kind of just showing my collection or whatever for right now. Otherwise that's not shot this video. But next up we have here is a Samsung SCL810 NTSC high 8mm camcorder. That's a long title there. So I'm missing the battery for it. There's no battery. However, this camera took 8mm tapes. You can see right there the tape would go in here, this big compartment here. Take the tape out, about this big really, and almost like a small VHS tape really. You stick it in there and you can record whatever you wanted to record. This camera came out in 2003. It's ironic, that's the year I was born. Well, not really ironic, just, I don't know, kind of a interesting little thing to me at least. But let's see, there's the view master thing. You can adjust it however level you want. And then a little, this little thing opens up. The little view screen opens. High resolution TFT color LCD screen opens up, and you can rotate around to different angles or however you want it. But very cool. Let's see. If I had a battery for it, I would turn it on, but I don't have a battery for it. It goes right in here. I don't know if you can see where it would go in. But that's where it would go in. And so I guess you'd walk around filming whatever you wanted to, like that. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. I guess this right here is the next one. This is just another. This is kind of just like a more generic, I guess they call point and shoot cameras. Nikon coolpix 4600, I guess 4600 or 4600. Very simple camera. It takes 2 AA batteries. If I can get the little thing open. There we go. 2 AA batteries. And it's always a tricky thing to get this thing close. I don't know why. Oh, that didn't close. Well, anyways, the interesting thing about this though is that I was looking for it. This takes an SD card, so we're out of the film genre, I guess genre. Out of the film. Well, I can't seem to get this out. There. We're out of the film category now into like SD card. Now, however, this camera here takes an extremely small SD card. It's like 2 GB or something like that, really small. And for comparison, the SD card in this camera right here that I'm filming on is like 64 gig or something like that. This really large SD card. And so if I could ever get this door closed down, I can show you this camera actually does turn on. There we go, got it. So let's see. There we go. Select, I don't want to do that right now. I just want to show you guys how it looks. There we go. No SD card, but it came on. And little zoom lens, where the lens opened up and everything. That's pretty cool. That came on. Let me close it and show you how it looked when it closes. Nothing spectacular. Of course, these cameras are still kind of somewhat popular, sort of. But that's that. That's a digital camera. The last camera for the video, this is very similar to this camera. Very similar. This is an Olympus FE-310 camera. Oh, I forgot to mention. This Nikon camera came out in 2005. So that's when this came out, 2005. 2 years after the camcorder. This is the Olympus camera here. Let me, there we go. And this, I tried putting batteries in this thing and get it to work, because it takes 2 AA batteries just like the other one did, but it's extremely corroded in there. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's extremely corroded. And so I'll have to do some work to get it kind of scraped clean and everything. But this came out in 2008, so 3 years after this one, and about, let's see, 5 years after the camcorder. But very similar point and shoot kind of style. I guess that's the right thing to use, point and shoot, right term to use. And a funny story is I was looking for a place to put an SD card in this thing. I was like, where does the SD card go? Where would it go? Because this camera right here has a compartment for the batteries down here on the bottom, and a compartment for the SD card right here. 2 compartments. And I was like, where in the world could this go? It's actually, it took me looking up a video actually. The SD card goes right here beside the batteries. So I was actually looking at it earlier. I just didn't realize it. But very lightweight. Both of these are kind of lightweight as compared to this thing from '59. That's pretty heavy there. But yeah, that's probably all the cameras that I have for this video. I guess now is the editing process. Like I said, one day I can come back, or someday soon, whatever, and do just individual videos spotlighting each camera once I get the battery for this and everything like that, and you know, spotlighting these cameras, because I think these would be pretty cool to see like in action, because these are vintage and I guess antique at the same time. I don't know what the line is for vintage and antique, but I'm glad these are still in pretty good shape. But I think that about wraps everything up here, for at least for this video. Yeah, I guess it does. Let me open this back up so you can see how that looks. There we go. So I guess out of all these cameras, I like holding that one the best. That's pretty cool to hold that up. But I like all of them in their own ways. They're pretty cool in their own ways. But I guess, with that being said, have a great day. Take it away, Hayden. have a great day. Be seeing you.